Pen or no pen? It's a simple question, just like deal or no deal. But unfortunately for Rangers, according to John Beaton, the foul did not happen inside the box, and Rangers, in the end, were left with just £1 inside of their box. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Here, to ask the big question, was it a penalty? The scales, Shirtpull on Cerny. I think we can all look at it. I think we can all agree. I think we can all admit, unless you are part of the 65%, that the referee, John Beaton, they got this wrong. VAR should have helped them. They did not help them. And in the end, a penalty was not awarded when it probably should have been for the second consecutive year in a Scottish League Cup final.
As Jimmy Carragher said, leave the football before the football leaves you. Fog Football needs to leave the polls before the polls leave us, because what's the point of doing these, man? There is no point anymore.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a fair, impartial poll.
No, of course there ain't, right? And you know what the reality is. This is a penalty. I think more's getting made out of it this week rather than yesterday, because I feel like yesterday's very reactionary. But this is a penalty every day of the week, and you know.
Even if you phone up Super Scoreboard with your fake version of the rules, it's still a penalty.
Before I watched Super Scoreboard tonight, I was basing it off Cerny, like his foot, and I was like, well, you know what? At least with his foot, you can argue, well, when's the actual point that he's up? But when Gordon Duncan lays it out there and he says it's not even to do with Cerny's feet, it's to do with the Shirtpull.
Well, I thought that was quite obvious, but obviously
it went over my head about the anger. I had clouded vision, but you know what? I have no idea what.
So, do you think 65% are like just blind, or do you think 65% are like liars? Which one is it?
I think it's just you're a Celtic fan. You're like, I'm never going to give Rangers
liar. Then, right? Okay.
I think that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
You're either blind, a liar, or you're not familiar with the rules.
It's not every Celtic fan. I'm not a tool.
I never said so. I said 65%.
Yeah, no, I'm putting my wee piece. It's not every Celtic fan. I've had a lot of Celtic fans that have said it was a penalty, and if it went against them, they'd be calling it as well. So, I mean, it's one of those things. But you know what? As it's been pointed out, there's no monitor even involved here. It is simply has to be given because it's in the box. John Beaton can't be sent to the monitor because what's there to look at? You know what I mean? There's nothing to look at. It's simply factual information that the Shirtpull's inside the box and it should be a penalty. And you know what? There's 67 comments. What a fitting number that is, by the way. Just God, I'll twist that knife into you.
It's a good year, wasn't it?
No. You know what? We're going to dive into the comments, but...
Okay, what's going to be 24? It's not going to turn out to be a good year for you either, so...
Every year... Name me a year that is ending in a good year.
So right, let's get into first of all, before we get into this, a lot of former referees have come out and all said it should be penalties. Yeah. It should be a penalty. So I mean, I think we can all agree that it is a penalty.
Yeah, it's in the rules.
Yeah, but it's not been given. Gary McLaughlin says both really good as gave us each other and went for the ball. To give it for a toe being on the line is clutching, in my opinion.
But again, it's not due to the toe. It's due to the Shirtpull. So the toes are relevant. And also the fact they weren't really... It was all... Scales made a mistake, right? And he tried to pull Cerny back, which he did. He achieved then.
Yeah, why would Cerny trying to pull Scales back? That makes no fucking sense.
Is it a complete rugby tackle for Scales? No, it's not, right? It's a Shirtpull, and we've seen them given. It has to be given. Yeah. But at least this is a guy that's open to it. You know, he's not fully out saying, this is never a penalty.
Well, I mean, but even if it is the toe, I mean, he's saying to give it for a toe being on the line. Well, it doesn't matter. If it's on the line, it's a penalty. That's how it works.
Yeah, but you know, this is probably as non-biased as we'll get in this comment section.
Alright, John Mayer says, fucking no chance. I mean, just look at the image.
Is that when he's told to take a shot?
There's every chance. James Smith, on the line contact, so it's no a pen, so stop making excuses. You had your chances and you fucked it, end of. No, it's clearly inside the box. I mean, I haven't seen any pundit or any ex-referee or any official that's come out and said it wasn't a penalty.
Did Rangers fuck the game? Yeah, but it doesn't mean you deserve to get robbed.
Right, Andrew Weenie says, no, it was a smokescreen topic to deflect from Celtic's victory. Well, I mean, it looks like a penalty to me. Maybe you should have went to Specsavers, Jeff. Round the bend, and Fog is a Rangers channel posing as the Neutrals channel. So-called Heartsman always refers to Rangers as we. No, I don't, alright? Listen, you stupid fuck. I don't always refer to Rangers as we. I'm referring to Rangers. When I do that, that's when I'm coming from a Rangers perspective. There's been times where I've said we about Celtic, or us about Celtic, when I'm coming at an angle or a topic or a question from a Celtic perspective. Does that mean I support Celtic? No, I mean, it's not that hard to grasp.
Yeah. No, it ain't that hard to grasp. Yo, we are.
Especially in Europe, like, when I've never hidden the fact that I do support all the Scottish teams in Europe.
We are the people. And we'll move on.
I want to see what the reply to that is, because that's bullshit.
Problem. He says posing as a neutral channel, right? Cards on the table. I fucking despise Celtic Football Club, but you know what? It's funny when you've got all these delusional fucktards that say that we're the biased ones, and they're saying this ain't a penalty. You know what I mean? No, I'm not. I'm just not having it.
Regrade says irrelevant, but I guarantee you, see if Rangers had a one and Celtic were denied a penalty, would it be irrelevant?
Yo.
Or would they be greeting about it?
Cards on the... See during this...
See that Yang sending off against Hearts? Did they not talk about that for fucking weeks?
They did. See during this game, the Rangers were getting throw-ins, right? And also free kicks that, in my opinion, weren't throw-ins or free kicks.
Who cares? That's Diddy decisions, man.
No, I know it is Diddy decisions, but I'm more than man enough to admit to that. You know, one pretty much led straight into the first chance for Kuhn, which he probably should have scored it past Butland. And it's like, why can't people just accept that? Even if you hate the other club, it's like, it's a fucking blatant lies.
Hey, good for you, let's move on. Big Jock News says, clear penalty as usual, decision goes the Pedals way. I mean, I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with the text or the wording, but I mean, I do think it was a penalty.
I think it was a penalty as well.
Be interested to see that reply. Like the way the Celtic FC allowed the Celtic keeper to continually front our players, no warning. Oh, by the way, Schmeichel was in the box for like at least 3 of the Celtic penalties.
Cal McGregor was telling John Beaton to book our players as well. Our players, you know, are you going to say our players as well?
Michael Taylor said he's foul on Scales.
Imagine thinking that, man.
Kevin Sinclair, the Shirtpull started before he was on the line, so no penalty. If a player is kicked outside the box, then falls into the box, is that a penalty? No. And still photos prove nothing. Well, that is totally different. No, I'm not saying you've got to admit that, right? There is a difference. See, if you kick somebody and they fall into the box, the foul has happened outside the box and the player's just landed in the box. If you are tugging someone by the shirt outside the box and you're still continuing to tug them by the time you get into the box, then that foul is continuing.
Sounds a little gay there.
Well, I mean, it does, but how can people not see the difference?
No, I know.
He's trying to...
it happened against Spurs. I believe it was a tackle on Madison.
No, come on.
And he flew into the box.
Are people this dumb or are they clutching at straws?
It's them deflecting all blame with Celtic.
This guy thinks that a player getting kicked outside the box and falling inside the box is the exact same as a player that was getting fouled, getting tugged from outside the box, and then they cross into the box and they're still getting tugged, still continually getting fouled, and that's supposedly the same thing as getting kicked and falling in. I mean, why embarrass yourself, man, with rhetoric like that? Seriously?
No, I know.
James Tony said, of course it was a pen. It's the rules. There will be an apology, then told to move on. Francis Connor on VAR, the same linesman who let Julian offside goal stand in 2019 final.
That was awful, that, by the way. I mean, clearly offside. But again, I mean, at least then they've got the excuse of no VAR. What's the excuse now? There is none.
Jimmy Burns says, good God, it was outside the box. You have some serious problems if you think Celtic get help from officials. Are you paranoid? It was a pen, mate. How far missed it or chose to miss it? 2 refs have already said it's a pen. I mean, I think it is a pen.
It's a pen. That's a pen, Kenny.
I mean, it's marginal. Like, you know, I'm not saying it's a massive amount, but he is in the box. Like, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's 10 feet or, 6 inches in the box.
It probably does. I think if he's 10 feet in the box, they can't rob Rangers.
No, but if it's in the box, it's in the box.
No,
isn't it?
I know what you mean.
It's like if a ball crosses the line, does it matter if it's just a millimetre over the line, or does it matter if it's like, 2 feet over the line? At the end of the day, if it's crossed the line, it's a goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think the margin should really matter.
Darren FTK says, winners win and losers lose. Yeah, I agree with that mindset, but it doesn't mean you should get robbed.
Right, Gary says, clearly a penalty, but now we know if we get a fast, good striker and Celtic are toast. We would have done them by half the time with a striker. that can score goals. They were worse than Spurs, and we battered them as well. Didn't get the win. We are one strike away from blowing a Celtic away. They weren't as good as people made it. Rangers were a lot better than Celtic. Just our finish and let us down. All right, I wouldn't say Rangers battered Spurs or Celtic because you didn't win either game. Better team, yes. I think to say you're one pacey striker away from blowing Celtic away, man. I don't agree with that.
If I had to pick out of both games, who did Rangers batter? I'd definitely say Spurs more.
Yeah, but do you think one fast striker's going to turn Rangers into unbeatable champions and blow Celtic away every game? I don't.
No. I mean, honestly, like, you can get a fast striker, but he needs to finish. You know what I mean? We could sign Usain Bolt if we really wanted to.
Martin Mitchell said Stonewall penalty.
He did.
Derry says free kick to Celtic for pushing Scales.
Z.
I mean, you gotta wonder, do these people actually believe that? Or is it just their, pride, their bias can't allow them to, admit that their team benefited from a decision that was wrongly not awarded?
No, it's just that. It's the bias, man.
Alan says Cerny was fouling Scales.
They don't have the minerals to admit it. You know, like last season, Rangers got a penalty, as we've talked about, with Fabio Silva against Celtic. I don't think it was a penalty, but we got it. You know what I mean? Some people just can't admit it.
Aberdeen should have had a penalty.
Yeah, that one last year. Wasn't
even looked at or acknowledged.
I mean, I said at the time, like, it's hard to tell. Do
you remember Michael Stewart was claiming that's a Stonewall penalty?
And we were like,
and we all thought, his hatred for Rangers, but no one else was even acknowledged. We all, I think in the commentary in the first replay was looking at a push or something.
Yep.
Or the first replay was like looking at a bit of pushing in the box, and then you see the tackle for Butland, and it's a clear penalty. Wipes him out, just like this one was a penalty, tucked inside the box. Jezebel said if a pen was given for every Shirtpull in the box, you'd give it 20 pens a game. I don't like it, but it's part of the game now, as it's always on the continent. If that was given, it would rank as the silliest decision of the season. Would it, though?
Silliest decision of the season.
How many penalties do we actually see now being given for Shirtpulls? Quite a lot.
Yo, see this decision, right? I am yet to see one pundit that doesn't think it's a penalty.
What did Chris Sutton think?
I haven't heard Chris Sutton, right? But if everyone I've heard... He's not even going to address it. I think Chris Sutton is going to address a penalty that he thinks Rangers should have got in a cup final against Celtic. He'll brush it under the carpet like many things they do at Parkhead, but he won't talk about it.
George Robertson says 180 trophies, get it up you, the most successful club in Scotland. Mark CJ says if the ball was on the goal line, the same as his foot on the line, it would be a goal. No, it would not be. If the ball was on any other line at the pitch, it would be a goal kick, a corner, or a throw-in. No, it would not be. It was not in the box, so that it's not a penalty. Get over it. Celtic won, end of. Always looking for excuses because Rangers lost.
Mark didn't go to school, did he?
No, he clearly didn't.
Maybe the Diddy school, actually. Be Diddy school, but that's the only one he might have went to. I mean, the grammar, not in the box. Yo, Celtic have got penalties against Hibs recently where it was on the line. And on the line's not in the box. And it also, the Shirtpull's in the box, it's not even on the line.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to use it as excuses. Rangers, but fact doesn't, just because...
Well, according to it, that's like saying that's like saying if the ball's on the goal line then, it's a goal because it doesn't need to cross the you know what I mean? That's like saying, no, the line's not the penalty box, so therefore it must be a goal.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous, man. It is, but
Tommy, the lines and anything inside of the lines is the penalty box.
Yeah, Tommy Maguire says, dirty potato munching cheating bastards. Thoughts on that?
I think it's a penalty.
We read out every comment, so there you go.
Audrey Hall says, ref and far with another Xmas present for the Pope. Dane Cunningham, the start of the foul was over a yard from the line, and that's what the referee says about original contact. Yeah, but the contact continues into the box. That's I don't think you understand. Slabbering cabbage, you'll never walk alone. See if that was the case. See if these people believe that's What would be stopping players, right, from just grabbing a hold of someone outside the box and then pulling them down inside the box if necessary?
Yeah, exactly. We'd open a
If,
whole
if,
new can of worms.
see if that was the case, you would just grab a hold of someone before they get into the box, and then anything you do inside the box isn't going to be given as a penalty.
Yeah, you're right. You could hold them outside the box. Once he gets in, just fucking two-foot him. No, I mean, it's like, well, what do you do?
Oh, look, the contact starter. You know what I mean? It's...
It is what it is, but we're getting nowhere here.
Reezy says never in doubt. The Sev core shite. I mean, it went to penalties, so I mean, I think it was in doubt for a bit. Meat Hutchie says depends what the free kick was given for. The Shirtpull had tripped before it. RJC 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Wee Jinky was tight in the picture, but you can't see Cerny's foot and knee on the line. Therefore, it's a pen.
I think Wee Jinky was the one that actually said in the chat yesterday that it was a penalty.
VAR can't intervene because it's that tight. It's not a clear and obvious error. Regardless, we won.
It is a clear and obvious error, though. That's it's in the box. How is it not a clear and obvious error then?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's about as clear as you can get. Penalty or no penalty.
Because, yeah, you may say, like, his foot and knee, it's, like, off the line, on the line. But as we've now established, it's the Shirtpull. And that's quite clearly in. So for me, this ain't clear and obvious. Alright? And it's just, I mean, I don't know, it is clear and obvious. It's just a mess, man. But this is the worst decision I've seen this week. What about Hearts fucking midweek, man? That penalty against Copenhagen. That's one of the worst decisions I've seen this year. You want to talk about VAR? Fucking robbing a team?
Right,
Celtic fans arguing with Celtic pictures.
The Gordy Bear, if the foul The Gordy Bear? If the foul carries
Is that you?
on into the penalty box, it is a penalty kick. Well, that's it. I mean, that right there, that's about as true as you can get. That's the facts.
Fuck
there,
yeah,
right?
you must do well, man, when you get a big heart up for fog football.
You would think supporters of teams who scream bias but every ref would know the laws of the game. Agreed.
Jim Byron says, it's outside the box by a toenail, right? How can it be outside the box by a toenail when it's his shirt getting pulled?
It's not his toe, it's fucking tugging on, is it?
Is his toenails growing out his fucking shoulder blades?
Jim. Graham Roberts said, it's funny when Celtic fans cheat but claim everyone else cheats against them. The diet hobos really are desperate.
Aye. And then Cerny was holding on to him. So that is pretty much it. This went as pretty much as expected as I thought it would. No accountability or...
Yeah, I mean, come on, Cerny holding on to him. It's that the shite that we're using. I'm not reading all that. Aye, look, for me, penalty. Doesn't really matter. Rangers I just don't think they were good enough on the day. Had their chance. Still, they didn't play well. And Rangers should have won, I think. But, you know, you concede 3 goals the way they conceded them, and you almost don't deserve to win.
No,
Once it goes to a penalty shootout, it's a lottery.
No, I think there's a case you can make for all 6 goals or mistakes. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this probably the only goal for me that's not a mistake is probably the Diamande goal. I think he's just controlled it well and put it past everybody. The other 5, all mistakes at the end of the day. And you're right, penalty shootouts, they're a lottery. And it is just kind of what happens. But, yeah, there'll be more fallout to this. We'll get into Chris Boyd because he's certainly made himself focal. Until then, peace.